from a very athletic family, and my sisters were playing soccer. So I just would go to their games, and on the side of the field, I would just be kicking the ball around. And when I was around 4 or 5, I started to play in like the lower, AYSO leagues, and just to play with friends. So from there on, I never stopped kicking a ball around. So I've been playing it from a very young age. Before I absolutely knew that I was gay, I would say I knew when I was just going into high school around my freshman year. But before then, I felt extremely different, and when I heard the word gay or faggot or any kind of homophobic word, or when it was used that way, it just really affected me, and I didn't really know why, but I just felt extremely sad and hurt when I heard that word. So I must have known before then, even when I was younger. But when I got to high school, I realized that that I'm gay, and that this is going to be tough because I'm an athlete. I want to be professional, and because of my background with my family, there were so many different things that I was worried about. I was 25, and I was living in England, and I was extremely depressed, and I had been for such a long time, and I felt like I need to make a change because I'm 25 now, and it's just not any way to live your life. So I first came out to my family before I came to public. I came out to my family in November, so about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. And when I came out, the reaction was absolutely amazing. First off, my family was very supportive from the moment I told them, and then when I eventually came out that February of 2012 or 2013 maybe, everyone was just so supportive, and it was the exact opposite of what I expected, and just so many things I heard growing up, again, and in the locker room, that scared me and made me think that it wasn't possible. But after I came out, I realized that that people didn't feel that way, and that people just wanted to support me. For me, playing with him is a pleasure. We both play on the left side together, obviously, but I think more than anything, Landon was one of the first guys that I spoke to when I was going to come back, and I've always been a fan of his, and we've been friends for such a long time. But when I was coming back, I was like, Landon, I'm really afraid. I don't know what's going to happen when I come back. Are guys going to be supportive? What's going to happen? And so we had coffee one day before I started training with the Galaxy, before I signed, and just talked through everything with him, and I'll always remember that. I'll always remember, grabbing that coffee with him and talking through things, and he was one of the guys that really helped me get back into the game. So I'm really grateful. Well, soccer is the biggest sport in the world, and especially in Europe, there's the attention, the media, the fans, the sponsors, all this stuff is just so much bigger than it is here. Here it's growing. There's a new team in New York, in LA. We average, I think, more than the NBA and the NHL, and it's a growing league, and it's absolutely amazing. But in Europe, it's like American football here, and the fans are just absolutely so passionate. So all of that is magnified. So I think even with the sports culture, there's so much testosterone, and they expect guys to be this straight stereotype. This is what a soccer player is, and that's why it was so hard for me to come out there, because I wasn't that. I didn't connect with any of those things. But it's it's interesting over there. It's an interesting culture, and there's so much history and tradition. So it's much different than here. But we're growing, and I think one day, I think the soccer will be just as big as in Europe and in South America.